Still wet on the page in my hand, a language of sorrow I didn't quite plan. I'm pouring my pulse into every cursive line, trying to rewrite the way you were mine. The paper is wrinkled where the salt hit the sheet, a map of a victory turned into defeat. I'm sealing the envelope with the ghost of a kiss, in a house full of things that I'm forced to miss. I'm sending my heart through a slot in the door to a person who doesn't live there anymore. And these are my bleeding love letters, written in red, saying all the things that I should have just said. Every word is a wound, every sentence a scar, tracing the distance to wherever you are. The mailbox is empty, but the pages are full of the love that you pushed and the heart that I pulled. Just bleeding love letters. I wrote about the night that we stayed by the lake, and the way that my spirit began to awake. Then I crossed out the parts where I thought we would last. Now I'm just an editor of a broken down past. The pile is growing on the edge of the floor, a million I love yous that you'll ignore. I'm sealing the envelope with the ghost of a kiss, in a house full of things that I'm forced to miss. I'm sending my heart through a slot in the door to a person who doesn't live there anymore. And these are my bleeding love letters, written in red, saying all the things I should have just said. Every word is a wound, every sentence a scar, tracing the distance to wherever you are. The mailbox is empty, but the pages are full of the love that you pushed and the heart that I pulled. Just bleeding love letters. Do you burn them, or do you just throw them away? Do they haunt you at the end of the day? I'm bleeding out on a legal pad, giving you the best parts of the worst I've ever had. Walking the street where the heaters are dead, with a million I'm sorry still stuck in my head. The frost is a pattern on the window of us, tracing the outlines of a broken down trust. I reach for your pocket but I find only air, just the ghost of a warmth that's no longer there. I'm blowing on my palms just to feel a bit of life, but the memory of you is a jagged little knife. The temperature's dropping and the sky is a bruise. I'm finding out exactly how much I had to lose. And I've got cold hands again, and a I saw my breath in the air like a silver gray ghost. It sings that I've buried are the things I need most. I try to hold on to the glow of your name, but it's hard to keep it light when there isn't a flame. Now I'm rubbing my sleeves till my skin starts to burn, waiting for a lesson I'm too stubborn to learn. I'm blowing on my palms just to feel a bit of life, but the memory of you is a jagged little knife. The temperature's dropping and the sky is a bruise. I'm finding out exactly how much I had to lose. And I've got cold hands again, and a heart made of stone, trying to navigate this winter alone. The fire went out when you walked through the gate. Now I'm just a shadow that arrived a little late. Yeah, the ice is thickening where the feeling used to bend. I'm just waking up with cold hands again. They say that the summer is only a breath away, but I'm stuck in a January kind of decay. I'm reaching, but there's nothing to hold. Why is the world so bitter and cold? Just like you left them, still waiting for the thumb. Cold hands again. Cold hands again. The clock is ticking like a hammer in my chest. 2 a.m. and I'm still failing every test of trying to forget the way you said my name. Now the silence in this hallway feels like a physical pain. I'm tracing shadows where your picture used to be, just a ghost of a girl in a broken version of me. The coffee's cold, the lights are low. I'm holding on to things I should let go, but the moon is a witness to the mess I become, counting all the damage that we've done. And I'm fading after midnight, losing my light, trying to survive another neon blue night. Your memory's a fever that I can't break through. is a thief. It steals all the joy and it leaves all the grief. I'm staring at the ceiling, praying for the sun, but the battle for my sanity has already been won by the ghost of us. Just fading after midnight. I'm running on the fumes of a faded spark, trying to navigate the corners of the dark. You took the oxygen and left me the smoke, a forever promise that turned into a joke. I'm checking my pulse, but the rhythm is wrong. I'm a broken down verse in a beautiful song. I'm a ghost in the kitchen, I'm a shadow in the hall, waiting for a feeling that I can't quite recall. The mirror is a stranger, the water is ice, and I'm paying the debt of a heavy set price. And I'm living on half a heartbeat, barely alive, trying to find a reason or a way to survive. The other half is wandering, it's out in the rain, looking for the person who could quiet the pain. Yeah, the rhythm is shallow, the music is thin. I'm losing the battle from the outside in. And on half a chapter of a story I can't bear to look at, the way that we fit, at the way that we grew. Before I was half and before you were you. Now I'm breathing in counts, I'm moving in slow, waiting for the rest of my spirit to go. I'm a ghost in the kitchen, I'm a shadow in the hall, waiting for a feeling that I can't quite recall. The mirror is a stranger, the water is ice, and I'm paying the debt of a heavy set price. And I'm living on half a heartbeat, barely alive, trying to find a reason or a way to survive. The other half is wandering, it's out in the rain, looking for the person who could quiet the pain. Yeah, the rhythm is shallow, the music is thin. I'm losing the battle from the outside in. On half a heartbeat, it's a hollowed out echo, it's a lopsided beat, a lonely vibration on a one-way street. I'm reaching, I'm calling, but the pulse is so small. I don't know if I'm beating at all. Just a whisper, just a thought, still waiting, half a heartbeat. I bought the glue, I bought the silver and the gold, trying to fix the story that the shattered glass told. I've been stitching up the seams of every hollow night, trying to convince myself that I can make it right. But the cracks are getting wider and the edges are too sharp. There's a dissonant vibration in the middle of my heart. They say that time's a doctor with a magic sleight of hand, that eventually the wreckage turns back into sand. But I'm looking at the mirror and I'm looking at the floor, and I don't think the pieces fit together anymore. Because hearts don't mend, they just grow scars, like jagged lines beneath the lonely midnight stars. You can hide the damage with a clever little lie, but you can't stop the bleeding no matter how you try. Yeah, the break is permanent, the rhythm's at an end. Stop telling me it's fine, 'cause hearts don't break. Like you never felt the winter or the snow, and I wondered for a second if I made a different stuff, if my skin is just too thin or I'm just not brave enough. Every how are you is a bullet I have to dodge, in this empty aching palace where your ghost is taking lodge. They say that time's a doctor with a magic sleight of hand, that eventually the wreckage turns back into sand. But I'm looking at the mirror and I'm looking at the floor, and I don't think the pieces fit together anymore. Because hearts don't mend, they just grow scars, like jagged lines beneath the lonely midnight stars. You can hide the damage with a clever little lie, but you can't stop the bleeding no matter how you try. Yeah, the break is permanent, the rhythm's at an end. Stop telling me it's fine, 'cause hearts don't mend. It's not a vase you can glue back on the shelf, it's a fundamental change in the middle of myself. I'm a different shape now, I'm a different kind of broken. The happy ever after was a cruel and heavy Hearts don't mend, they just grow scars, like jagged lines beneath the lonely midnight stars. in beautiful ways. Scars and stars, that's all that's left of us. Hearts don't mend. I'm living in the what if and the could have been, tracing all the circles that we're running in. You give a look that says you might still care, then you pull away and leave me grasping at the air. It's a flickering bulb in a hallway of doubt. I'm reaching for the switch, but I can't turn it out. Your texts are like riddles I can't quite decode. A map with no markings, a dead-end road. You say you need space, then you call me at 3 to tell me a dream where you're standing with me. I'm a kite on a string in a hurricane wind, never knowing where the ending is supposed to begin. You're a ghost in the morning, a flame in the night. You're the shadow that follows the edge of the light. I'm paralyzed here in this middle degree, locked in a cage where you kept the key. Yeah, I'm lost in maybe, wandering the floor, waiting for a knock on a locked up door. Is it come back home or is it let me go? Give me the yes or the no that I need to know. Yeah, the static is loud and the vision is hazy. I'm losing my mind while I'm lost, maybe. Maybe is a prison with no iron bars. Maybe is a sky with no visible stars. I'd rather you hate me, I'd rather you leave, than give me a thread that I'm forced to weave into a hope that I can't believe. Yeah, I'm lost in maybe, wandering the floor, waiting for a knock on a locked up door. Is it come back home or is it let me go? Give me the yes or the no that I need to know. Yeah, the static is loud and the vision is hazy. I'm losing my mind while I'm lost in maybe, lost in the grave. Just tell me to stay or tell me to go. Don't leave me here in the maybe, lost in maybe. I'm sweeping up the pieces of a Saturday night in the corner of the room where the shelf is just a dull shade of gray. Everything we built is just blowing away. I reached for your shoulder, but my hand went through. The solid ground is gone, and so are you. There's a gritty taste of never on my tongue, a heavy kind of weight where they always hung. I'm watching the castle we built in the sun turn into something that's already done. And I'm standing in the wind where love turned dust, watching the rot in the iron red rust. Every forever is a grain in my eye, a million little pieces of a beautiful lie. Yeah, the sky's falling and the ground is a crust. I'm choking on the air where love turned dust. I found a dried rose in a book by the bed. It crumbled in my fingers like the words that you said. It's funny how a mountain can turn into silt under the pressure of the secrets we built. Now I'm walking through a desert in a 3-room flat, wondering how it ever came to this and to that. There's a gritty taste of never on my tongue, a heavy kind of weight where they always hung. I'm watching the castle we built in the sun turn into something that's already done. And I'm standing in the wind where love turned dust, watching the rot in the iron red rust. Every forever is a grain in my eye, a million little pieces of a beautiful lie. Yeah, the sky's falling and the ground is a crust. I'm choking on the air where love turned dust. You can't glue the powder back into the stone. You can't find a heartbeat when you're strictly alone. I'm reaching for a shadow, I'm grasping at a ghost, but the dust is all that's left of what I love the most. Standing in the wind where love turned dust, watching the rot in the iron red rust. Every forever is a grain in my eye, a million little pieces of a beautiful lie. Yeah, the sky's falling and the ground is a crust. I'm choking on the air where love turned dust. Love turned dust. So nothing left to hold, just the grit in my teeth and the wind in my soul. Love turned dust. The boxes are taped and the keys are on the mat. We're avoiding the questions of this and of that. I'm memorizing the way that the light hits your hair. One more minute of pretending that you're staying there. The hallway is empty, the echoes are loud. We're a final sunset underneath a heavy cloud. We're not a tragedy, we're not a mistake, just a beautiful bridge that's starting to break. I'm holding the handle, I'm turning the lock, but I'm trying to freeze every hand on the clock. history in our eyes before the hello turns to hollowed out goodbyes. Yeah, the world is waiting for the story to end, but I'm holding on to a version of you that was my friend. Just one last us. I saw your silhouette against the living room wall. It's funny how the biggest things can feel so small. We're a Polaroid fading in a shoebox of time, a perfect rhythm that no longer can rhyme. Now I'm breathing in the center the way we used to be. One last breath of the air before you're free. We're not a tragedy, we're not a mistake, just a beautiful bridge that's starting to break. I'm holding the handle, I'm turning the lock, but I'm trying to freeze every hand on the clock. Just give me one last dust before the lights go down. One last dance in this ghost quiet town before we're just strangers with history in our eyes. Before the hello turns to hollowed out goodbyes. Yeah, the world is waiting for the story to end, but I'm holding on to a version of you that was my friend. Just one last us. No more tomorrow, no more next time. Just this final beautiful mountain we'll climb. I'm looking at you and I'm letting you go, but I'm staying right here in the afterglow. Give me one last dust before the lights go down. One last dance in this ghost quiet town before we're just strangers with history in our eyes. Before the hello turns to hollowed out goodbyes. Yeah, the world is waiting for the story to end, but I'm holding on to a version of you that was my friend. Just one last us, one last us. The screen goes black, the credits roll, but for a second we were everything. One last us, one last us, one last. Made of creases in 1,000 folds, living out the secrets that the silence holds. I try to make myself a shape you like to keep, but I'm just a sketch in a pile that's getting deep. One sharp word and I'm starting to fray. The edges of my spirit are just blowing away. I'm a delicate design in a heavy-handed world, watching every corner as it gets uncurled. I thought I was stronger, I thought I was tough, but it turns out the surface just isn't enough. And I can feel my paper heart crack, splitting in two under the weight of the shadow of you. No blood on the floor, just a white cold mess, folding under pressure in the cold distress. Yeah, the ink is running and the lines are black, and I don't think there's any way of folding it back. My paper heart cries. surface just isn't enough. And I can feel my paper heart crack, splitting in two under the weight of the shadow of you. No blood on the floor, just a white cold mess, folding under pressure in the cold distress. Yeah, the ink is running and the lines are black, and I don't think there's any way of folding it back. My paper heart cracks. Handle with care, that's what the label said, but you crumpled the pages and you left them for dead. I'm a flattened out memory on my page in the rain, dissolving in the middle of the pain. Yeah, I can feel my paper heart crack, splitting in two under the weight of the shadow of you. No blood on the floor, just a white cold mess, folding under pressure in the cold distress. Yeah, the ink is running and the lines are black, and I don't think there's any way of folding it back. My paper heart cracks. Paper just a scrap in the wind. Watch it rip, watch it go. Paper heart cracks. The sky is clear and the sun is alive. There isn't a cloud in the blue of the sky, but I'm shivering deep in my winter coat, with a gallon of water stuck in my throat. I'm walking through crowds and I'm perfectly dry, but there's a storm in my chest that won't pass me by. I'm an island of gray in a city of gold, carrying a climate that's bitter and cold. The barometer's dropping, the pressure is high, and I can't find a way to stay dry. Because it's rain in the hole, rain in my head, a hurricane living in the space of my bed. The world is on fire, but I'm starting to freeze, with a 1,000-mile river down to my knees. Yeah, the ceiling is solid, the roof is still tough, but the rain inside me is more than enough. Just the rain inside me. I try to speak, but the words just drown in a lake that I'm carrying all over town. You left me a climate of permanent June, but the weather changed fast and it changed way too soon. Now I'm an ocean disguised as a man, trying to keep it together as best as I can. I'm an island of gray in a city of gold, carrying a climate that's bitter and cold. The barometer's rocking, the pressure is high, and I can't find a way to stay dry. Because it's rain in the heart, rain in my head, a hurricane living in the space of my bed. The world is on fire. inside me. It never stops, the flood is coming, just right inside me. Inside me, inside me. Yeah, it's right in the hallway, never stops. The flood is coming, just right inside me. Inside me, inside me, never stops. It never stops. The flood is coming, just I'm walking through the rooms where the laughter used to live, counting all the pieces that I didn't have to give. The furniture is gone, but the outlines stay behind, like a map of a kingdom I'm forced to remind. I see you by the window, I see you by the door, but I'm chasing a ghost across a hollowed out floor. The sun is coming up, but it's black and it's white. I'm living in the leftovers of a long lost light. I try to step forward, I try to break free, but the silhouette of us is all that I see. And I'm living in the shadow of us, dark and deep. A promise that I'm far too broken to keep. You're the shape on the wall, you're the cold in the air. I'm reaching for someone who's no longer there. Yeah, the fire is out and the bridge is all dust, but I'm still tangled up in the shadow of us. I went to the diner on the edge of the town, and I saw our reflection when the rain started down. A blurred out version of a girl and a boy, before we turned the gold into a broken down toy. Now I'm a stranger in my own skin and corners of a long lost light. I try to step forward, I try to break free, but the silhouette of us is all that I see. And I'm living in the shadow of us, dark and deep. A promise that I'm far too broken to keep. You're the shape on the wall, you're the cold in the air. I'm reaching for someone who's no longer there. Yeah, the fire is out and the bridge is all dust, but I'm still tangled up in the shadows. It's a silhouette that never fades away, a midnight sun in the middle of the day. I'm screaming at the floor, I'm begging for the light, but the shadow is winning the where the heart used to be. It follows me home, it won't let me be. The shadow of us. I'm sitting in the kitchen where we used to dance, just a hollowed out version of a second chance. The tea's getting cold and the steam is all gone. I'm fighting with the shadows until the break of dawn. I try to scream your name, but the air is too thin, so I let the heavy quiet start to settle in. There's a storm in my head that I can't explain, but my face is dry, I'm hiding the strain. The world sees a mask, they see I'm doing fine, but they don't see the salt on the edge of the line. And it's just silent tears falling in the dark, calendar's blank and the clocks are all stopped. I'm falling down a hole where the memories dropped. I'm swimming through the photos on my bedroom floor, reliving the moments where you wanted me more. The air is getting heavy and the light is getting low. I'm clinging to the hello 5 years ago. The anchor is heavy, current is strong, pulling me back to where I still belong. I'm giving up the fight, I'm letting go of today, surrendering my future just to stay with yesterday. And I'm sinking into yesterday, losing the shore, back to the moment when we weren't broken for sure. The water is cold and the pressure is deep, but it's a beautiful promise that I'm trying to keep. Yeah, the present is a lie and the future's a wreck. I'm just letting the past put its arms around my neck, sinking into yesterday. I saw your face in the glass of the coffee shop door, and I fell through the pavement down to the core of a time when a look met a promise of gold before all the stories had already been told. Now I'm breathing in the air of a timeline I know, where you never packed a bag and you didn't just go. The anchor is heavy, the current is strong, pulling me back to where I still belong. I'm giving up the fight, I'm letting go of today, surrendering my future just to stay with yesterday. I'm sinking into yesterday, losing the shore, back to the moment when we weren't broken for sure. The water is cold and the pressure is deep, but it's a beautiful promise that I'm trying to keep. Yeah, the present is a lie and the future's a wreck. I'm just letting the past put its arms around my neck, sinking into yesterday. Maybe I can live here down in the deep, where the promises ladder and the memories sleep, where the end isn't written and the start isn't gone. I'll just stay in the dark before the dawn. Yesterday, down here it's forever. The light is gone, just me and the memory, sinking into yesterday. haunts the glass. I finally buried the ghosts of our past. I'm cleaning the scent of your smoke from the drapes, designing a world where nothing escapes. I used to leave the porch light on for your car. I'm locking the windows, I'm changing the code, I'm burning the map to this dead-end road. It's not out of anger, it's not out of spite, I just can't survive another maybe tonight. So stay gone, let the silence stay deep. I've got no more promises left for to keep. Don't be a shadow, don't be a ghost, don't be the thing that I'm missing the most. Yeah, the bridges of fever that finally broke, and I'm finding my lungs in the middle of the smoke. Just stay gone forever. I saw your name light up my phone at 4. I didn't feel the panic or the heat anymore. I just watched it dim, I just watched it fade, like a debt that's been settled, a price that's been paid. I'm not the same person you left in the rain. I've learned how to live with the shape of the pain. I'm locking the windows, I'm changing the code, I'm burning the map to this dead-end road. It's not out of anger, it's not out of spite, I just can't survive another maybe tonight. So stay gone, let the silence stay deep. I've got no more promises left for to keep. Don't be a shadow, don't be a ghost, don't be the thing that I'm missing the most. Yeah, the bridges of fever that finally broke, and I'm finding my lungs in the middle of the smoke. Just stay gone forever. It's a mercy killing, it's a final grace to scrub every memory of your face. I'm closing the book, I'm ending the play. Please, just walk the other way. The light is off, finally quiet. Stay gone ever. I changed the sheets and I rearranged the books, but I can't erase the way your ghost still looks. Standing by the counter with a coffee in your hand, in a version of the morning that I didn't quite plan. I filled up the minutes and I filled up the days, but I'm still lost inside this neon blue haze. I'm doing the math of the how and the why, underneath the weight of a hollowed out sky. I told everyone I was finally through, but the truth is a debt that I'm paying you. And it's a quiet kind of torture, a beautiful lie, watching the always just wither and die. I'm moving through the crowd, I'm playing the part, but there's a hole in the middle of a broken down heart. Yeah, the seasons are changing, the world is all new, but I'm still missing you, just still missing you. I saw your favorite movie on a late night show, and I reached for my phone before I let it go. It's a muscle memory, it's a habit I can't break, a physical shiver in the middle of the wake. Now I'm a stranger in the places we knew, just a shadow of the person I was next to you. I'm doing the math of the how and the why, underneath the weight of a hollowed out sky. I told everyone I was finally through, but the truth is a debt that I'm paying you. And it's a quiet kind of torture, a beautiful lie, watching the always just wither and die. I'm moving through the crowd, I'm playing the part, but there's a hole in the middle of a broken down heart. Yeah, the seasons are changing, the world is all new, but I'm still missing you, just still missing you. They say that missing someone is just love with no home, a house with no windows, a king with no throne. I'm wandering the halls, I'm calling your name, but the echo, it doesn't feel the same. Yeah, it's a quiet kind of torture, a beautiful lie, watching the always just wither and die. I'm moving through the crowd, I'm playing the part, but there's a hole in the middle of a broken down heart. Yeah, the seasons are changing, the world is all new, but I'm still missing you, just still missing you. Still missing you in the morning light, in the middle of the night. Everywhere I go, still missing you. I'm back in the corner of that neon cafe, watching the moment that you walked away. I can taste the espresso, I can smell the regret in a cinematic loop that I haven't left yet. I'm a prisoner of goodbye on a permanent spin, tracing the places where the ending began. The world is moving forward, the city is loud, but I'm stuck in a frame, lost in the crowd. I'm rewinding the tape to the edges of thin, trying to find where the light didn't to shout, stop. I try to change the scene, but I'm just a ghost watching a digital screen. Every tear is a frame that I've memorized well, in this high definition version of hell. The world is moving forward, the city is loud, but I'm stuck in a frame, lost in the crowd. I'm rewinding the tape till the edges are thin, trying to find where the light didn't win. And it's just tears on replay, falling again. A beautiful sight, full of when and of when. I'm watching us break in a slow motion blur, crying for the version of the people we were. Yeah, the song never changes, the needle just stays. I'm living my life with these tears on replay. Tears on tears on replay, falling again, tears of replay, falling again, I'm back in the corner. Tears, tears on replay. back of a box. Before we were cages and before we were locks, we were some night on water who were fire in the cold. A story so bright it didn't need to be told. The city felt small and the sky felt so wide. When I had the universe right by my side, we were the kings of a kingdom of glass, watching the shadows of ordinary past. We didn't know things could ever turn gray. We thought we were made of the light of the day. But God, we were golden, we were burning so bright. Two shooting stars in the middle of the night. We were the treasure and the world couldn't find before the decay and the leaving behind. Now I'm just staring at the rest in the lead, remembering the halo we wore on our head. Yeah, we were golden. Now I see you in the grocery store aisle, and I go for the blend and the edge of your smile. But you're just a person in a dull-colored coat, and I'm just a ghost on a different boat. The alchemy's broken, the magic is gone, but I still see the glow when I'm facing the dawn. We were the kings of a kingdom of glass, watching the shadows of ordinary past. We didn't know things could ever turn gray. We thought we were made of the light of the day. But God, we were golden, we were burning so bright. Two shooting stars in the middle of the night. We were the treasure that the world couldn't find before the decay and the leaving behind. Now I'm just staring at the rust in the lead, remembering the halo we wore on our head. Yeah, we were golden. It wasn't a lie, it was real for a while. The weight of your touch and the grace of your style. The gold is too soft for the world to sustain. It bends in the pressure and breaks in the rain till it's just a memory. We were burning so bright. Two shooting stars in the middle of the night. We were the treasure that the world couldn't find before the decay and the leaving behind. Now I'm just staring at the rust in the lead, remembering the halo we wore on our head. Yeah, we were golden. Now it's just dust. But for a moment we shone, didn't we? We were golden. We were golden. echoes are screaming where we used to talk. I'm watching the dust settle down on your chair, like a physical wave in the oxygen there. The silence is louder than the slamming of the door. I've never known a quiet this violent before. The calendar's frozen on a Tuesday in June. The sun's coming up, but it's over too soon. I'm standing in the wreckage of a life we designed, trying to find the pieces that you left behind. Tuesday in June, the sun's coming up, but it's over too soon. I'm standing in the wreckage of a life we designed, trying to find the pieces that you left behind. Just the sound of the light leaving your eye. You took the ice and you left me the me, and I don't know how to be this lonely. So stopped, the air stayed cold. Everything changed when you left. When you sitting in the driveway, Space between our shoulders is a void unfilled. I'm looking at your profile in the dashboard light. You've never looked so beautiful or felt so out of sight. The keys are in the ignition, but there's nowhere left to go. We've reached the final chapter of a story we both know. The GPS is silent, the map is torn in two. I'm staring at the exit, but I'm looking back at you. It's not a violent ending, it's not a sudden crash. It's just the smell of smoke after the fire turns to ash. So this is where love ends, in a quiet parking lot, counting all the pieces of the person I am not. No fireworks in the sky, no tragic movie scene, just the static in the air and the space in between. Yeah, the road just stops at the edge of the night, and I'm losing my grip on the ghost of the light. This is where love ends. You're reaching for your door bag, and the leather creaks. It's the loudest sound I've heard in about 3 weeks. I wanna say don't leave, I wanna start a fight, but the words are just like vapor in the freezing winter night. You give a little nod, a smile that doesn't reach your eyes. The most honest thing about us are these hollowed out goodbyes. The GPS is silent, the map is torn in two. We're staring at the exit, but I'm looking back at you. It's not about a landing, it's not a sudden crash. It's just the smell of smoke after the fire turns to ash. So this is where love ends, in a quiet parking lot, counting all the pieces of the person I am not. No fireworks in the sky, no tragic movie scene, just the static in the air and the space in between. Yeah, the road just stops at the edge of the night, and I'm losing my grip on the ghost of the light. This is where the engine's cold now, just a quiet street and a long walk where it ends. The engine's cold now, just a quiet street and a long walk. The engine's cold now. The silence is a predator, it's stalking the halls. I'm listening for a shadow to speak through the walls. I find myself pausing at the top of the stairs, expecting a whisper to catch me unawares. But the air's a vacuum, a soundless retreat. I'm missing the music of the way that you greet the day. The TV is static, the radio's dead. I'm replaying the tapes of the things that you said, but the colors are bleaching, the audio's thin. I'm losing the vibration beneath my skin. Funny on the corner of Third. I turned to tell you, but I couldn't find a word. The punchline just withered and died in my throat. A lonely passenger on a sinking boat. Now I'm humming a melody I can't quite complete, a rhythm with no lyrics and a broken down beat. The TV is static, the radio's dead. I'm replaying the tapes of the things that you said, but the colors are bleaching, the audio's thin. If a tree falls in the forest and no one is near, does it make a sound that the sky can hear? If I say I love you to the four empty walls, does the echo mean anything before it falls? Silence is heavy. I'm forgetting the sound of